Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another chill, heartless night in the city of San Termino, here on Gray in the Dark. Hi, my name is Philip, and I'm the Noir Master, and surrounding me are our wonderful players. Say, how's it going, players?
How's it going, players?
How's it going?
Hola.
I was figuring someone would do the Burns and Allen joke. Well, yeah, we got a fun game here tonight. Lots of fun things going on around last night. Some people out there joined us for just a really weird Star Wars conversation. We wound up becoming a competition of trivia between two teams. Jeremy's team won.
We know who the nerd
Largely,
is.
I think from.
I got the one question.
Due to knowing Blue Harvest, but here's the real trick. Jeremy, do you remember the name of the Hutt who served as Supreme Chancellor of the Galactic Republic for 275 years? See, here's what it's about.
It was like Bloatus the Hutt.
It's Bloatus the Hutt. You got it. There you go.
Yeah.
It's all about.
I just remember because it sounds like bloated.
Nerd.
That's not
Nerd
canon.
I didn't know it
Um,
until yesterday.
There you go. It was in the old Legends continuity, which is canon to me.
Canon in my heart.
It's my heart canon. I put a cannon in my heart. I put a cannon in my head. It's my head cannon. Well, yeah, we got some fun stuff here. I do want to say thank you to Minnesota Twins and Apostrophe This for donating some subs last Friday, where things went crazy and a longtime character died in a really unsettling way that I was super into on our horror show, Blood from a Stone. We're also starting a couple of Star Wars games next Sunday and Monday, which will be exciting. I'm sure you'll hear way too much about that from me in the coming days. But for now, let's turn our minds to a little bit more monochromatic affairs. Here in San Termino, the group have been sort of investigating who put an attack on them, who killed a toon named Dottie, why people are continuing to look at them, why did Scrakk run away? Scrakk is back. There's a lot going on. But it does seem that our intrepid sort of noir heroes here are all somehow tied up into a something's going on with Project Skip Bleach that drained all the color. There seems to be some connection between at least some of them and what's going on, and now as Dominic is fighting, he's kind of getting himself wrapped up in this. After basically finding some money and some gear and some valuables in the home of Kylan the Dark, a famous turncoat during the war. Our group sort of took those things away, saw to some of their own business, kind of welcomed Scrakk back among their number, with, to some of them, a little bit of distrust or a little bit of sort of suspicion. One level of suspicion that unfortunately, just because I had obscene rolls every time, just always just over everyone's respective passive perceptions. That's what was so rough about it. Like, I'd always roll like 2 over everyone's passives, just depending on what your passives were. Scrakk, having gone down to the capital, to the stronghold, and looked into basically Scrakk kind of gained a bunch of intel and information about what was kind of going on in the war. He's learned some new stuff, which he shared with the group. When he returned, he brought some tales with him. He actually brought only 1 or 2 tales, who soon multiplied when so many people were seen going into a place, so many new persons of interest to the Justorian military intelligence community. These people tailed the group around the city as they broke for the night, went about their respective errands of changing money and or eating ice cream and or doing research and or coming clean to their husbands. Dom, however, went to go finally speak to his capo regime, Rodol Mozo. He kind of disclosed, of many of the events that had happened to Rodol, who was aware of some, but certainly not all. For example, it seems Rodol was aware that your bar had been shot up, but you'd had it replaced or repaired. He did not know about someone named Zipgun in your employ. That was news to him. But upon sort of you sharing that you'd went and spoken with the head of another family, he was a little concerned. He was very kind of confused that you were doing all this stuff with like military intelligence. And then his concerns turned to bad vibes when a military tail was spotted outside your house. And listen, he's gonna have words for his own agent as well, for his own man. But basically, the tail outside, Eddie walked out, and according to Eddie, this elf shot Eddie as Eddie approached, got spooked. Eddie shot the elf back, kind of on instinct. The elf is dead. Eddie's gun exploded in his hand on his second shot, but he got the elf on the first one. And basically, Rodol said, "Dominic, get this body into my house right now." And
I'm on it. I'm a cleaner.
That's what you guys are doing. So we're actually going to pick up right there, as we jump back into to events here.
Hold on, as I go outside to do that, I'm asking Capo if he has like spare linens or something like that, so they don't make a trail of blood or anything back to his apartment.
Oh, understood. Okay. So before you move the body, you want to wrap the body so it's not
exactly. Yes.
Or
That
carpet,
leaking.
maybe. Tarp.
Something just
all right.
absorb the
So
blood.
he kind of gives you this look, but if you want to do that, go ahead and make an investigation check. If you want to sort of take extra time to do this quick.
Oh, if it's extra time, if he doesn't procure it immediately, then I'm just gonna do that straight up.
Right, but so what?
Without...
roll your investigation check. Like this is
Okay.
this is you. Like what can I
Sure.
use right here, right now, to sort of do this cleverly and quickly?
I rolled 8 on that, +0, so just 8. I
So
don't see anything.
unfortunately, as you're like, you don't see anything out here, and he's kind of like, come on, go, and
All right, I'm out.
you
I'm headed out.
you guys just carry the body straight in through the front door. Eddie sort of trying to gingerly limp in behind you. Rodol kind of like drops the, he does bring the body at least to the kitchen before dropping it down, where it's kind of, the easier to clean tile floors. Right. He kind of like, Eddie like stumbles in after. He'll say, "Eddie, you're leaking blood too." He comes over to you, Dominic. What are you involved in that the military is looking for you?
So, you know how I said my bar was shot up? So, my first thought back then was 3 of these ex-military folks who worked on Skip Bleach walked in there, and I thought that some cleanup crew were after them or something like that. We went through some whole investigations, and some rat in there went back to the military. And he just came back today, I guess. And I guess they were telling him. Oh, and I'm being literal when I say rat.
Oh my god. He's just looking at you like, what? Why are you? Okay.
I didn't ask for this. They walked into my bar and...
Yeah, but all right. Eddie, are you gonna make it? Do I need to call somebody? Eddie's like, I'm okay. I'm just. He just walks to the wall. He sort of gets on the phone. He makes a couple of calls. Dominic, as you're standing in here with Eddie, who's gripping his stomach, you hear a sudden inhalation and sucking of breath. And Eddie's like, what the fuck? Dominic, make a perception check.
+5, 7. Damn it, +5 is 12.
12. 12 is
It's a little
enough
bit hectic.
for you to
Okay.
realize that there's a sound, basically from where you're standing, coming from the other side of the kitchen island. and now you hear the sound of scraping and sliding on the tiles.
Oh, Anton's not dead.
Is that the tail? I walk over.
If you walk around, you see now there's about like 4 to 6 inches of like blood stains trailing behind the body of this agent in a trench coat trying to pull himself forward.
I put my foot down on him. No blood on the carpet. Come on, guy.
And he's like, "What is? Oh my! Is he alive?
Yeah, he's making a mess here. Come on.
Kill him.
You're another person's house." All right. With my foot, I just flip him over onto his back, and
and it's kind of like this gun wound, kind of that went to the neck, and is
from his
torn
neck?
out much of his, It's bad news. He's in.
Can I get some napkins or a towel or something like that?
Sure.
I'll fetch a towel and just press it onto his neck to staunch the bleeding a little bit.
Are you trying to like stabilize him?
Not too hard. I'll just hold it to sort of stop the bleeding and go, what am I gonna do? I'll say, look, if you're here about that rat that came into my bar, I know nothing. I don't give a shit about skip bleach. So, you have an option here. I can try to save you. Warn you, I'm not very good at it. I'm not a trained medic or anything. Or, and in return, you tell me what the hell you're here for. Otherwise, I'll just release my hand and let you bleed out.
And he's like, you should kill him. We're not gonna let this guy go. He's been in here. He's like, this is too much.
Damn it. I didn't promise I would let him live. I just promised I would hold the bleeding here.
Oh, that's fair. Sorry. I'm fucking up your thing. Sorry, man.
Alright. Well, I guess the game's up, so... I just let go of this.
Shouldn't you be rolling morality or something?
Oh, good call. Make a morality saving throw.
Alright, fine.
The implications of this are different, though.
Damn.
Okay. I actually rolled a 19 on that. -1 is 18.
Okay. In that case, you are not compelled to do anything. You can simply you can mercy kill the guy, you can convenience kill the guy, or you can try to keep him alive for information. You are not being tugged at, sort of morally speaking, to serve your best interests, which actually in this case, had you failed a morality save, you would not kill him. You would keep him alive to find out what he knew, and inflict horrible suffering on him in the process, likely. But now you can still do that, of course, but now you're allowed to proceed.
I already talked back to Eddie that I wasn't planning on trying too hard to keep him alive anyway, so I'm just looking. This guy probably was not going to tell me anything, so I go, whatever. And then I just I'll just release my hand from his neck and just let him bleed out. I'm not going to contribute to him, but I'm not going to try saving him.
All right.
Good luck, Fed. Good luck, Fed. If you live...
Well, he seems to be remaining alive for a couple of minutes. Rodol walks back into the room. Eddie is kind of like sliding along a counter in some sort of pain. Rodol says,
"Oh, if he was still in pain, I would have helped out Eddie instead."
Oh, okay, yeah. If Eddie's like, oh, thanks, and he just like slides kind of a little over to the side, kind of like along one of the things. He's getting blood all over the countertop or whatever.
We can clean those.
There's you also hear a little voice kind of coming from the other side of the room, going, "What's going on here?"
Don't look. What was your name?
It's Dina.
Don't look, Dina. It's business.
Like,
boring business.
She kind of sees some stuff and goes, oh, and she just walks out. Rodol comes back in and says, all right, Murillo's on his way over. He's going to help us with this situation. But I'm probably going to have to take this to Nona. Because this is not mean, this is not nobody who you have killed here.
Nona, is that a fellow?
That's Nona Pointy
capo?
Ears. That's the consigliere
Oh.
of the group. But he's kind of
Consigliere. Well, rank is consigliere, like 1 level below Don.
One level below Dawn. Yeah, kind of like overseer of various things. But he's kind of just like, yeah, we're probably gonna have to go to Nona because this is not a no one you have brought. This is not a rival. This is not someone who gets disappeared casually. This is a government official. They have deep pockets. It's much harder. It's not even a police officer. This is like a bigger deal. Part of me wants you to be involved in. Honestly, Dominic, I'm torn between making you clean up your mess here, and in just getting you the hell away from this problem, so that you don't continue to spread whatever confusion you are putting on things.
I want to say I make a movement like I would want to respond, but he is right.
He kind of comes over you and says, listen, I understand situations are here. We might have thrown you into stuff. And to be fair, as you say, you didn't ask for any of this, but you should have talked to me earlier. This is all I'm trying to say to you. You then hear a sort of grunting sound behind you. I will technically roll for him to do this. Eddie rolls at 18. Eddie has grabbed a meat cleaver, and he has landed on the guy. And Rodol turns around and goes, "What are you doing?" Jesus, no! Why? Oh my God! You just okay. Well, now any cover story for where we put this body is gonna have to have his head chopped. Eddie, what the hell, man? And Eddie's like, "Sorry, boss. It's all right. I'm okay." Eddie's like doing pretty bad, and he kind of looks at you. What the hell?
I was prioritizing helping out Eddie here. All right.
Why did you do that? Eddie's like, don't worry. I took care of it, boss. He's dead now. Rodol gets this look. He wasn't dead? Marone, are you kidding me? He wasn't dead? He was alive? No. Eddie! He's like slapping Eddie, who's kind of grunting. Eddie, God! Did you know he was alive?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rodol picks up
I
his
didn't think
shotgun.
Eddie was gonna kill him.
You didn't think this was information you could have provided me. If he's alive, this changes everything. If he's alive... Dominic, this is a bad situation. And it's been compounded. Because a gunshot wound, maybe we could explain that. A gunshot wound, and then a decapitation is going to be more difficult to explain. Especially when we wouldn't have had to explain anything. We could have simply paid this man a lot of money. Eddie. He kind of looks Eddie over. That looks like a pretty bad wound you got, Eddie. He just kind of climbs on top of Eddie and just starts strangling him. Yeah, I'm doing you a favor here, Eddie. And he's like, "Whoa!" He just chokes him out. This just like merciless look, like, "Oh, Eddie, that was... You're making bad decisions now. I don't know what else to tell you." Do you do anything?
He outranks me, so I'm trusting his judgment on this.
He chokes out Eddie. It takes a minute. He stands. Dominic, I'm a little disappointed with how things have gone tonight.
I'll say.
I'm gonna clean up this little problem you've brought to my door. Because this has to be handled with finesse. Especially now that it's been further fucked up. He then gestures to Eddie. He says, "You can clean up that one."
Walk up to Eddie. He's dead, right? Not just choked out.
Make
dead.
a medicine check. I guess theoretically, I'll give him one chance to. Yeah, he's dead.
Crossing his name off.
I rolled a 7, so yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell regardless, unless it was super obvious, one way or the other. Okay. All right.
Rip Eddie.
Ripperino, but man. All right.
You know, no fingerprints, right?
Yes.
So Dominic, what is your plan here to dispose of this body? You know of general ways to get rid of a body if you want to. You know, there's water and rocks when in doubt. But what is going to be your strategy? And you get the sense that Rodol wants this just like done yesterday. You know.
Right. Sure. Let's see. I don't have a means of transportation. I walked over here.
That's true.
Where are we right now? Which district are we in?
You're in Little Trachaloy. It would not have been far from your place. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the plan would be, first off, close off, wrap up any wounds and stuff so he won't drip blood all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Will Rodol allow me to use his tools and place and stuff to clean up, or does he want me to move it elsewhere?
Make a persuasion roll.
Need a car.
Let's see, my persuasion is +3, 13, 16.
Rodol will allow you to kind of just do what you're doing, provided that it doesn't take too long.
Okay, so the gist is he wants the minimum amount of heat that could be on him.
He just doesn't want to look at Eddie anymore, and he doesn't want to look at you anymore.
Yeah, that too.
So he, if he'd prefer you to just drag the body out and deal with it, but he also doesn't want anyone to be seen with bodies. So it's kind of a, competing things here. I guess my question is, are you just describe to me like what your overall plan is? We're not going to roll every part of it.
All right, the overall plan is get him back to the alley in a way that doesn't have drip blood or something like that. That's step 1. Step 2 is singe off all the fingerprints.
Okay.
Step 3 is what other identifying marks? I guess he's an orc, so I guess his teeth and his tusks.
Break off his tusks. Yeah.
Yeah, get them out of here.
Get rid of those dental records.
Yeah.
But you need a car to transport him. Maybe you need to make a phone call to one of us.
Maybe.
To get.
Any of us have a car?
None of you have a car.
We can rent one.
The only one of us who has a car is probably Duchess. It's probably a clown car.
Yeah, you don't want Duchess's car. Duchess's car is the opposite of discreet.
Yeah.
Maybe the vacuum in her place could get rid of the body.
So basically, step 1, get it to the alley. Step 2, remove all identifying marks and any of that. Step 3, dispose of the body in. Well, Chatelet is a little inland, so it'll be hard to get it into the sea. But dispose of it somehow.
Would his capo let him borrow a car? Or truck
With
or
a
something?
16, you don't think your capo's going to let you.
I don't want to ask for him when he's in this current state.
Be trusted with a car. However, about 5-10 minutes after you begin this process of kind of wrapping this body up in sort of what you can find, Morilio arrives and kind of comes in and just like walks in and sees the scene and goes, "Oh, Eddie. Oh boy. Dominic, what the hell, man?" He takes his hat off upon seeing Eddie's body. What happened? This is Morilio, by the way, who you recall you guys found in Zip
I
Gun's
remember.
place.
I know, he's my fellow soldier.
He's the guy, yeah.
Long story short, the feds were tailing some bozo who came into my bar, and now they're tailing me.
That is very bad. He kind of just leans over Eddie, kind of like crosses himself or does whatever gesture of the order of the 7 lights and rays. Just
Like this really overly complicated.
1, 2,
like,
3, 4,
Points in 8
5.
different directions.
Yeah.
Are you doing like the Naruto,
Yeah.
the Naruto hand stuff?
Kind of shakes his head a couple times, looks at it and says, "There's a wheelbarrow in the back shed, by the way. But get out of here, Dom. Seriously, get out of here."
I'll take that up. Yeah.
Okay.
Wrap him up, put him in the wheelbarrow.
So you put him in the wheelbarrow. I just want you to make a stealth roll for me.
I'm actually proficient at stealth, so let's see. Do I roll high enough? 12 plus 4, 16.
With a 16, Dominic then spends a pretty tense, hour or so, wheeling this body down the street in the shadows, and then having to, pull into somewhere else to do it. Fortunately, I will say that little Trachaloy is not a place that's going to be, having a ton of just, cops patrolling. And you are being helped by the fact that no one is looking for this person yet, as he's out tailing someone. And, could be for a while. So you manage to get this body back to the alley without really any incident. Luminus, you're at the alley. You have left. You went to the bank earlier. Put your money in for kind of to wait for an exchange. So you're back eating whatever ice cream remains.
I'm talking to Cynthia, and I'm just trying to get her to I'm just writing recipes. I'm just collecting recipes of, for things to cook. Fettuccine Alfredo? That's a thing?
I mean, I guess so. I'm not really a cook. I'm a bartender. But yeah, what you do is you just boil. You have to salt the water. He's sleeping. Try to be a little quieter.
All right.
Okay.
Then I just barge in here with making a bunch of noise with the wheelbarrow. Hey, is Ambrosia here?
Would Ambrosia have come back here, or is she still casing those things you sent her to do?
That's the thing, huh?
Ambrosia is nowhere to be found.
So who's here? Just the onion? Is Jumpin' Gianna here?
Oh, it's Jumpin' Gianna's here.
Oh, no,
oh God, I
let me
hope she's here.
No.
Okay,
I should not have said
in that
anything.
case, I'm going to give Jumpin' Gianna let's make this pretty rare. Let's give her a 1 in 8 chance. Ka, roll a d8. Only on an 8 is Jumpin' Gianna going to be in the house.
Oh god.
All right, let's see which one. I shall do, my gray one. All right.
And that was my worry. I'm just
It's a
saying.
3. It's a 3. She's not
Okay.
here.
Jumpin' Gianna,
Okay.
thankfully, is causing chaos
not-
elsewhere.
Okay.
Um,
Now I'm from. God damn it, Sophia. What? I told her to give me information and come back.
What are you doing gardening at this hour?
All right, Luminus, come with me instead.
For what? With gardening?
Yeah. Where someone's gonna be pushing up some daisies, so yes, gardening.
Oh, okay, gardening. Oh, sure, I'll help. I'm not even thinking about that right now.
I suppose the 3 troublemakers are in the safe house right now. Yeah, they were talking the safe house thing. This might as well the last thing. All right. So I bring them to the back room and dump off the contents and unfurl a dead orc.
Luminus, you see
that's what you meant.
rather large orc. This guy's probably 6'6" or so. Dom is I would imagine Dom is sweating through his jacket at this point because it was a heavy.
Yeah, this dude's
heavy
big,
job.
right?
Yeah, this is
He's a big
Eddie
guy
was a
for
big
you.
one. Yeah, he's not quite as big as Morelia, but he's big. So
All right.
what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna cut over to the safe house where everyone has by now gathered. Just because this might take a minute. Let's see how all of our other people. So I know that Scrakk and Leo, they had sort of gone and gotten materials related to Shadow Elves, the Shadow World, and sort of Shadow Elf custom. What you could find in the library. So this is not going to be super detailed stuff, but it will give a better kind of baseline of knowledge. Sha'Nehl has come back, and Sha'Nehl, you did find a whip. And you, if you sort of look at it, it is a nice leather whip, emblazoned on the handle, kind of in, kind of like that, leather working. What do you call that? Not when it's burned in. What's the term for when you burn leather into stuff?
I almost said it for a second.
When you brand something, you're talking about?
Yeah, branded.
It's like that. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the term is, but it's a. In any case,
yeah. Emboss? I don't know.
Yeah,
Almost,
I'm not
almost,
good
almost.
at leather working.
but it says the word.
Burnished.
It has a name. What you assume is a name has been sort of kind of put into the leather. Mernes. Mernez. Which languages do you speak, Sha'Nehl?
Elvish, human, gnomish, celestial, deep speech.
Is there actually a human?
Yes,
Gomon, yes.
Gomansh is the human language.
Because
oh, that's right, Gomon.
Because Elvish is like the base.
Yeah, well, you're all just
Elvish.
Elvish. Sha'Nehl, as it stands, you do not recognize what languages would be, but go ahead and make just like a flat int roll, like a kind of like a general knowledge roll. It's like a linguistics
not very
roll.
good. It's a 7.
A 7. You don't think it's like you don't think it's goblin. You don't think it's orcish. You're not exactly sure what it is. You don't think it's Marlinch. It's probably some slightly less common species or tongue belonging to a less common species. But you can figure it out at some point, you're sure. But you have a nice whip, and you bought some thieves' tools as well. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. So yeah, so Sha'Nehl, you're admiring that stuff. Scrakk and Leo, you guys are doing your research. If anyone would be starting any conversations, you can do so. Otherwise, we'll just make a couple of rolls about that.
I would like to, hello guys, what are you doing?
Knowing Leo and Scrack's personality, probably just would be buried in books at this point.
Yeah, I barely even respond. I'm copying things from some of the books we picked up from the library into my own little research document, and he probably doesn't even hear you.
Okay then, I would like to search the whole place just one more time.
Make one more sweep of the joint. Go ahead and make an investigation roll.
For hidden things and for valuable things. Oh, okay. And I rolled another 7.
Where's hidden stash number 2?
You.
What about second
stash? What is it? Investigation?
Yeah.
That's a 14.
With a 14, you don't really find any secret rooms. You also notice that, for the most part, there really aren't valuables here. Those were anything that was visible was taken by Ode when they started when they kind of this is a very functional safe house, but there's not valuables and such.
Right.
But I guess it's Scrakk and Leo. Let's just do a which book are you sort of starting with? Do you want to be reading about the Shadow World? Do you want to be reading about Shadow Elf culture? Or do you want to be reading about, I'm trying to think of the other things that we let you guys.
Can I ask them if they need help?
Scrakk would pick whatever most directly translates to the...
Yes! Crack open the book, why don't you? And I push over this stack of 5 really heavy looking books towards her side of the table.
Anything that can most directly be translated into an equation is what Scrakk is going for.
Ooh. Flip a coin then.
Okay.
There's 2 things that are sort of equally maybes on that point.
9. So odd, I suppose.
So you are mainly reading books just about Shadow Elf culture, and your eyes are sort of glazing over until anyone talks about their unique magical stuff. You sort of go through a stack of books on these subjects because this is sort of a cultural role. I'll let you do it as a. Let's do it as investigation. This is you trying to to find relevant points.
Do I get my professor die on this roll?
No, I believe it's only on your field of study.
Okay.
Because you're a professor of the arcane.
Arcana. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you don't get your professor die unless it is a.
Okay, so straight int. Ooh, that is not good. That is 3 + 7, 10.
I will tell you that this is not going super well. You are not you're just not finding what you need to find.
Scrakk looks super frustrated. He's kind of pulling at his rat hair. He's torn a couple of pages out of his novel, rips them into shreds, throws them on the ground, and goes right back to it.
I will say that in general, you're probably suspecting that you're going to need to go and get some, like, books, and not what is in the public library. Leo will say that if he's reading those books, you're reading about the Shadow World. So why don't you also make an investigation roll? And if Sha'Nehl is helping, you may have advantage, because you're doing this longer, so you need to make the roll, but Sha'Nehl's assistance at the end can give you some advantage here.
Thank God, because I rolled a 2 and then a 17. So, non-nat 20.
Non-nat 20. The Shadow World, which is kind of what the Shadowfell is called here, is a place that has a lot of, like, shall we say, cosmetic things in common with what the rest of the world has become. The colors that were always sort of muted. It, however, seems like a very it just seems like a very sad place, as far as you can tell, and it does seem to be very emotional. And so you remember, because you will say whatever degree of your former archmagery, you kind of are following enough to sort of understand that trying to, like, bring that sort of, like, dark, emotional, colorless magic into things to replicate things that the chromatic spectrum used to do, you could see that it would be very sort of draining on the soul and the emotions of a person. Right. The thing, however, that a 20 will sort of give you is that there is a city in the Shadow World, somewhat recently built, so kind of like about like 100 years or so ago, sort of like around the time that, like, San Termino was kind of like, it was still very early, but they built an equivalent of many cities in the Shadow World, including San Termino. This city is known as just simply you don't speak Umbral, right?
I can. If
you
I
can. So we'll say that you
channel,
took a rest and used one thing of this. And you had noted a little bit earlier, so we'll slide this together because you also know 20, etc., etc. But it is in Umbral. The name of this place is simply The End. So there is a city in the Shadow World called The End that is
which is the amalgam of San Termino.
It is yes, it is.
Which
it is
also means the end.
It is correct. It is located here. Kind of like, were you to cross over to the Shadow World from here, you would effectively be finding another city that is meant to be a Shadow World version of San Termino.
Was this built because San Termino was built? Like, it was built at the same time, like, congruently?
Yes, it was a purposeful thing was done to build this at the same time.
Okay, is that like a thing that happens naturally in the Shadowfell, or do you think people of the Shadow World need to consciously mirror our world by building things?
With your 20, yes, there is often a gradual and general mirroring, but it is often more of an emotional way. At some point around 100 years ago, the Shadow Elves, who some of them were native for there, some of this, started purposefully rebuilding numerous cities across the world to have direct corollaries in the Shadow World.
Oh. Do you think there is a connection between these worlds? These towns that you can maybe pass a passage, maybe?
Perhaps, but I'm not quite sure what the significance of this relationship is to our conundrum so far.
Does the book say that it's kind of a opposite version of our city, like the evil twin?
I'm not sure if it's necessarily an evil twin, but he's a dark reflection of our, I believe, version of San Termino.
Is it the upside down, Phil?
It's not going to be. It wouldn't be the upside. It would be It wouldn't be like the Upside Down. No, it would be a.
Not as bad. Okay.
No, it won't be as bad as that. Although the Shadow World can be pretty intense.
The Dark Sand Termino has a mustache in it.
Yeah, exactly. That being said, if you're sharing this, Scrakk, you do hear about this. So Scrakk, go ahead and make an Arcana roll.
Okay. Natural 20 plus 7.
Plus 7. And I think you do always roll your d4 on that as well.
Oh, okay.
For Arcana.
Come on, 4.
Oh, you know what I should have done is I should have also added that bonus to investigation I would have gotten from the channeling, but...
Well, you got over 20, so we'll sort of do that.
Yeah.
Scrakk, did you get a 3 or a 4?
So 30.
You got to a 30. That's what we were looking for. So basically, like, unbidden to you hearing about this, and this would be a thing where, I guess because you've got to a 30, even though it's not really your area of expertise, you would have just been like, oh yeah, I knew that. And for the first time you say, gee, I wonder what happened to the one in the Fairylands. Because they also did that in, like, the Feywild, basically.
Oh.
I wonder what happened in what sense. This is me asking, not Scrakk.
If that was created?
The Feywild...
Like, if a city was created, or if, like, what happened after the...
After the color drain, like, the Feywild, as you suddenly think, would have been pretty messed up by a big color drain. Since it is so much magic and color and brightness, and the chromatic spectrum is very strong there. So there's a part of you that's like, oh yeah, what happened to all those cities? Because you're aware, because he says this rings a bell. You're familiar with the idea that they purposefully built reflections about 100 years ago in the Shadow Worlds. I'll even just say that with a 30, you know that was because the fairy-based elves were doing the same thing. The Shadow World ones were built in response to that.
Oh God, were we just collateral damage from these 2 Fae people? I mean, that makes sense because fuck the Fae, but
possible. Who do I know? Okay, so the captain of the ship that was sent. Sorry, going back. So the captain of the Sorry, names. What was the ship?
So
the ship that set off
on the Nightingale.
Yeah.
The person who was supposed
to be the original captain, or the replacement was the Shadow Elf?
The original the captain who transferred out right before it was basically destroyed was Alora Lockley, a Shadow Elf.
Okay. Do I know about the replacement?
As far
Did
as
I find out who it was?
As far as you could tell, you rolled pretty high on those things. There was no replacement. Her just second in command took over, and as far as you could tell, Halia was like calling the shots at that point. Halia Zennington was fully in command.
That brings it up an interesting point. But from what I've learned so far about the whatever I have learned about the Shadow Elf magic, do I think that the loss of color would necessarily strengthen them in any way, or would it be more of like an even the playing fields if there was indeed like a war with the Fae or something of that sort? Does that question make sense?
I totally understand the question. I'm trying to think of what you know very little of how what they're saying would even work, and as far as you're concerned, it shouldn't work. Their colorless color shouldn't function. But would it be a thing of evening the playing field or making them stronger? I would say no roll required. It would probably be a situation of in the land of the blind, the man with one eye is king.
Was there a war between the Fae and the Shadowfell? Were they at like odds with each other?
At various times, there's always been a push and pull between them, but you know of no specific war between them.
Do I know how to get to either of those places?
You definitely know. It involves either magic or some kind of standing passage. And we haven't got into this, but to those sort of those other inner plane, or kind of like those other like material plane, the ones adjacent, being the ethereal, the Shadowfell, and the thing. There are some very expensive. There is a trolley that actually takes you to those.
Of course there is.
Okay. Funny. That's funny.
So you know of that, and then there also are like practitioners of magic can fairly easily pass through. You would also suspect that the Shadow Elves certainly have a means of have some kind of standing gates somewhere. You don't know what they are, but there would be no doubt in your mind of that. You think the Fey Elves, the Fairy Elves, would likely also have one. But again, they're mostly have just kind of been subsumed by the High Elves at this point. They're not really running their own operations anymore.
I suppose there might be some motive if the Shadow Elves caused or set in motion skip leech. Maybe something to do with the Fae. We'd have to check on that city, but we'd need to find passage first, or a high-level mage. Other than that, doesn't help my formulas.
Probably could have been more used to, but I'm significantly reduced in my arcane prowess in this certain form.
Well, yes, it makes sense. You've probably lost a good deal, and Scrakk goes off on arcane.
And
yes, indeed. In fact, and
it's
a certain amount of conversion of spiritual energy to.
Sha'Nehl is totally listening, wrapped with attention. Fascinating. Tell me more.
just. I like the idea of it's a rat folk with just like no social awareness talking to these like totally blank-faced mannequins. And on that disquieting scene, and I'm glad for KJ that she's not here for this moment.
Can I, since Sha'Nehl said, "Tell me more," can I target her and use information flood, just for fun?
Yes.
Sha'Nehl loves information.
So basically, Sha'Nehl will willingly fail the throw and effectively be like kind of like half stunned as you just pour information about nonsense her way. We're going to cut away from that for the benefit of our own minds and the minds of our viewers. Back to Dominic and
meanwhile,
who are just snipping fingertips off a body. Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right.
And burning and searing.
Just searing stuff. All right. So I guess you have the tools to sort of do what you're doing back here with that issue. What are you going to do with the body? I guess that's the question.
All right. So, can we just have like a container of some sort of
a trunk?
No, not for the body, just for the various stuff we just snipped off of him.
Oh, okay.
Certainly.
So here's all the fingers, tips, and all the stuff, the teeth and tusks, probably toes too. And okay, so now I have a clean body, more or less.
Sure.
Unidentifying body. Let's see, we're a speakeasy, so we gotta have barrels of empty barrels that we filled up with product. So
you definitely do.
Pop the body into one of those barrels.
He's a big guy.
For you.
But you can cut it up.
Well, if I can't fit it in one go, then yeah, I'll use 2 barrels.
You can get him in one. You gotta get creative, but you can get him in one. That being said, it's gonna be like
Tetris.
It's gonna be one of those things where it's like packing boxes when you're moving. Like, you get him in one, it's gonna be a heavy barrel.
Well, there's 2 of us to carry.
Fair enough. So you have him in a barrel. You have a wheelbarrow. You have a body barrow. You have the stuff you're sort of burning. Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. How do we dispose of the fingertips and teeth in such a way that
do you have a furnace anywhere in your?
We have to have a furnace, right?
Somewhere in the basement.
Yeah. Furnace into the. I don't care about the teeth. I'll just also put it in there. If they burn, if not, they'll lead to drama down the line when someone fishes through my furnace and finds the guy's teeth.
Yeah. You can also, like, if you do a couple hammer strikes, that just, between that and burning makes it much harder to ID later.
Smash it a little first and then throw them.
That's future me's problem to figure out.
All right, great. So.
Then, let's see. Can we just
want to dump it then?
Yep. Barrel is going... where to? Is there a... La Brea Tar Pits equivalent, considering it's just SFV?
Well, actually,
need a car as opposed to a wheelbarrow to get the.
Actually, there really should be tar pits in Hollyberry, shouldn't there?
Yeah, there should be, definitely.
There's tar pits in Hollyberry. That's fine.
I'm going to the museum, the Tar Pits Museum.
Hold on.
No, it's not
you
a
want to
museum
dump
yet.
a body into an archaeological dig?
But Dominic, just roll a flat int roll for me.
All right, flat int roll.
It's like a mobster knowledge roll. Don't give yourself proficiency. I take it back. It's intelligence plus proficiency.
It was a 5 plus 2, so 7.
Seems like a good enough thing to do. They said something about dumping bodies in that, but it should be fine.
Do I think that's a good idea?
Make a flat int roll.
Okay.
You're probably smarter than... Well, I'm average int, so I don't know if you're above average int or not.
No, we're all average except for Mr. Rat. Mr. Rat's the only one. That's a 12. Actually, wait. Yeah,
more than me.
Then with a 12, because it's higher than 10, you do feel like that's probably not the best plan.
No? Nah, fine.
Don't you say like sleeping with fishes? Like, don't you dump?
Yeah. That's the typical thing to do. We'll have to now get him all the way over to the.
And everybody does that. Now. It's so blasé.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
I'm gonna wait until nighttime.
It is night.
Yeah, is it night already?
How far is it to the beach or wherever we can dump this?
We're a little Trashaloy, so we have to go through at least one district. To get
you'd basically have to go through the rest of the snub to get to the water. I mean, it is a barrel, so it rolls, but.
But that's not really inconspicuous. Is it just the most
inconspicuous thing?
We'll just. Okay, Luminus.
But what if it was both of us
into the wheelbarrow?
Yeah.
We'll just.
If you guys want to try to muscle it, just both of you make a strength roll. We'll just kind of we'll speed this along.
Okay. All right.
Oh God, strength.
Are you proficient?
No.
I rolled a 12.
Can I double down that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Would love for you to.
Much better. That is also a 12, actually.
With a 12, this is not an easy process for both of you. But after 2 hours of moving and hauling and heaving, you get to some of the docks on the edge of the snub.
All right. Once I stick him on the edge of the dock, so that I just have to kick him over to roll the barrel into the sea, take off my hat, and
whoa! You're getting rid of a whole barrel, too? You're not gonna just dump the body, or?
You can fit so much ice cream in that barrel.
There's so much more you can do. That's a really good barrel.
We can make more barrels. Just.
All right, it's you can mark it off as an expense, I guess. Sure, that's fine.
Tax deductible.
All right. I'll say, what was his name again?
Eddie.
Eddie, you were a good orc, and it was a pleasure working with you. All these months I was here. Did I work with him very often?
But is this what we're doing?
It's a nice
Eddie, I never worked with you and I never knew you, so good swim.
Good swim. Oh no.
And then I kicked the barrel into the sea.
Fortunately for you, because it's such a heavy barrel,
Holy shit.
it does sink.
It's just funny if after all that, you see the barrel come back to the surface.
Barrel opens up, body floating on the top.
That would have been,
once he starts bloating, he'll come back up.
That's future me's problem, not current me's problem.
It's having a lot of problems.
All you gotta do is just, if you kind of cut the stomach open and just, if you you'll anyway. We're gonna say Dominic knew at least how to, properly prepare a body for
dress a body
for being left on that poor end.
in a hunter terms of dress.
Man, so I think with that we will call it a night on these
Shenanigans.
Dominic, yeah.
No. I thought you meant wait, it's only 8:30.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? We're finishing the whole place?
No, we'll say that that ends Thursday, and it's Friday morning.
Scrakk has some musings.
All right.
Is there any?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Is there any particular between the shadow elves and are there fae in this plane too? Are they common like the shadow elves, or as common?
There are fae elves. They are probably. I mean, neither fae elves or shadow elves are super common, but they definitely are both existing. You know that for the most part, the shadow elves are mostly only hanging out with the high elves at this point. The fae elves interact mainly with the high elves, but some with some of the wood elf families as well.
Okay. Is there any particular just proportionate alliance of them with the our side or the other side?
The elves were all on your side in the war.
All on our side. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All the different elvish. Yeah. I mean, there were individual elves who were not, but
in general. Okay.
All right.
Do I know any fae elves?
There are some goblin sympathizers.
Well, the goblins were on your side in the war too.
The gnome sympathizers.
Gnome sympathizers, sure. There were some gnomes, some humans, some dwarf sympathizers. Those gnomes were trouble. Scrakk, I would say, given your generally cloistered nature, I will say that you probably don't. Roll a d12.
8.
You do not know any shadow or fae elves directly. So everyone gathers at the alley the next day. Duchess will come. She will be here. But she. Oh yeah, go ahead, Sha'Nehl.
I was just gonna say that Sha'Nehl stayed up all night looking through what's his name, Kylan the Dark's keepsake stuff and all that stuff.
Understood.
Everywhere.
I would just like to say that Leo, for his rest, was just reading his books. All right, it's time for me to rest for a while, and just stopped in place and stood there for 4 hours.
Just looking really
Very
contemplative.
upsetting.
Yeah.
Scrakk didn't even notice.
Perfect.
And then
resumed. Yeah, exactly.
Breathing after.
Yeah, that is the thing. It's you guys can
just
talk,
pause.
but you do have to remain motionless for at least 4 hours. Or for at least 6 hours or whatever all it is. So Sha'Nehl, reading through Kylantha's information. Let me think if there's a thing you would. You
memorized them.
Yeah, you're kind of just looking through her general stuff, but you don't get any huge details about anything other than the fact that, given she had that book in Umbral, there must be some connection. Now, Kylan the Dark was a high elf, like Halia, and she was from Leonde, but she must have some connection to these dark elves. So we're gonna say everybody resumes Friday morning at the alley. You guys come in.
Can I retroactively, because I just remembered that Dominic, we didn't go through it, but I'm assuming Dominic would have told me somewhat of what happened.
Yes.
Would you have?
Yes, I would.
Or were you just like, help me go to this body, don't ask any questions?
Could I have made some perception checks to see if we were being followed at all? As we were...
If he had asked, I would have responded truthfully.
Because I just remembered, oh yeah, like he would have mentioned that to me.
Okay. Very interesting question, and I didn't realize that. But, because I had done some math.
I mean, no, I don't need to make any perception checks.
Make a perception. You absolutely would have made perception checks. Go ahead and make an active perception check. You can make, effectively roll at advantage. You can make 2 of them.
Okay. Natural 20, plus 7, so 27.
No one followed you. And I want you to make a free kind of investigation check. DC won't even be too high on this because of your 27 or whatever the hell you just rolled.
Yeah, that's investigation?
Yeah.
I have nothing, so that's 18.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Based on what he explained and the fact that people had followed Scrakk and followed him, you assume everyone else has been followed. But you suspect that everyone left the alley, and however many agents they had left covering everyone else, or at least left cover. Like maybe you can assume everyone else is covered. Maybe not everybody else even had a tail. Dominic clearly had a tail. You guess you didn't have a tail staying outside the place for you. So that Dominic's tail has been killed. So basically, yeah, Dominic has, at this point, you two were scot-free. That being said, I'm going to carry this over to the next day, Luminus.
Yep.
As Leo, Sha'Nehl, and Scrakk and Duchess arrive, Duchess is wearing a cartoonish giant pair of sunglasses. She immediately starts drinking her morning martini. Luminus, I'm going to let your 27 carry over. You just kind of very casually at the window, glance through the blinds like you're just doing whatever. And you do see a few just way too clean-cut elves reading newspapers across the street. And one of them goes and ties his shoe next to the other one, and just kind of a weird way, so you know that there are tails outside now.
Do I know how many, or
make another you rolled a 20, it's fine. There are 3 tails. 3 elves are out there.
Okay. So when we have, I assume we're gonna speak in the back as our morning meeting, as per usual.
Yep.
And then after breakfast, as soon as we get back there, I'll mention.
You don't even have to eat in the back if you don't want to. The place isn't open. You can, if you want Cynthia to not hear what you're saying, but she's kind of stalking.
just for precaution.
Sure.
Yo, boss. There's 3 more of those people following you outside.
I look at Scrakk and say, "You brought a whole bunch of feds after us."
Scrakk looks up from the book that he was reading and takes a second to process. And he says, "That's not possible. I followed a standard procedure for shaking tails on my way from the train."
Apparently not well enough, because there's I mean, I could point them out to you there, but it's real obvious.
How embarrassing.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they may have followed you too.
I can't imagine any of us being so incredibly careless. I say, switching my drinking my coffee and letting it drip down my face.
It's
All right.
I don't know what to tell you. Standard military procedure: 3 right turns, wait 5 minutes, watch the corner at least 3 times.
If you follow procedures that they know of, that they taught you, they know how to repeat those procedures. You goddamn.
No. The procedures always work. That's what they tell you in training.
That is logical. And he goes and sits down and starts reading again.
No. I take that book and then just throw it into the furnace.
Make a
dang,
perception check.
Oh no, not that book. Scrakk will fight
just
that.
To make sure.
Wait. Are you taking his...
Also, where is your furnace? In the main room?
It's in the back room. That's fine. But wait, Scrakk, were you reading one of the library books? All right.
You're just reading a random book.
So Dominic is trying to pull away the library book. I guess go ahead. You can make this would be grappling because you're trying to hold on to it. You guys make a contested.
I'm not trying very
athletics.
hard, so I'm still gonna just use. I'm gonna use my passive athletics.
Okay.
Which is 14.
Okay.
I'm not trying very hard to pull it away.
Scrakk.
Can I flow state for this?
Bonus action, enter a flow state.
If I feel the book is threatened, which it does sound like.
Yeah, sure. I'll say you can bonus action that. That's fine.
I feel like that's a Scrakk
Is it a
thing to
bonus
do.
action?
That is
I don't
very
know the
Scrakk.
beginning of this
Remember,
book,
it's been a minute.
I believe it is a bonus action. On your turn, you enter it as a bonus action. Yeah. On page 30.
Yeah, on. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm trying to remember what flow state does.
Scratch discombobulate.
Single attack, professional reaction.
You rage.
It doesn't actually help me. Never mind.
Okay, cool. So yeah, just make your contested. It would help you, and if you can win the first one, it would help you.
Scrakk,
14. 14 minus 1.
So basically, Scrakk. Dominic doesn't even try that hard, but he pulls the book out, and then do you toss it in the furnace?
I toss it in the general direction of the furnace, but I'm not watching.
At this point, Sha'Nehl would like to do a whip action.
You want to try to grab it with your whip.
Yes.
As he's throwing it
All right,
to the
make a
furnace.
whip attack roll.
God.
Slow motion. I'm tossing this book.
Okay, it's 14 plus attack bonus would be 4, I believe, right?
She hits. I only have AC 15, so no matter what, she'll hit.
She's
the
not
book.
trying to hit you. She's trying to hit the book.
It doesn't have that much of a higher AC than me, I don't think.
But it's
so.
a moving target, so it's getting like a cover. However, it is high enough to grab it with your whip.
That's funny.
And I'm kind of surprised by it because it was just instinct.
Kind
It's
of
like,
insane,
oh,
sure.
interesting.
All right.
And
Sure.
Wow, some reflexes.
back to
Scrakk,
the Scrakk.
I go Sha'Nehl, not bad.
Scrakk attacks Dominic.
Do not touch
Just-
another
just fingers.
person's
Hand on
No
his
weapons.
forehead. Hand on his forehead.
Go ahead and make an unarmed
Sorry.
strike, Scrakk. And since you're doing this emotionally, you cannot enter a flow state.
That's fine. Not
I'm
very
about to
high
catch these
anyways.
balls.
Unarmed strike
Yeah,
would be...
Can you even do damage with the unarmed strike?
Professor can.
What's my 2 attack here?
It would
Am
just
I
be your.
proficient in unarmed strike?
It's just your
Okay,
strength
so-
plus proficiency.
Okay. That's gonna be a 14 to hit.
Do you not get the
15.
flow state bonus or whatever?
No.
No. For this.
He has to enter a flow state. And I'm
Yeah.
actually saying he cannot enter a flow state if he's in a mindless rage. So
Yeah.
Dominic, if you want to, you can be holding him by the hand.
Hands on
As he's
on his
just.
foot.
He's like hissing and swiping at you.
Alright.
Calms down after a minute, but
Look, this is your problem. What the hell was that book anyway? Based on that, might be a little bit more important than just reading like a fiction book.
I mean, he probably values
It
every
is a
book.
library book.
that
You cannot mess with those.
that book could be part of the answer to reversing the color loss.
I don't care.
Plus, the librarians will come and kill you if you damage their books.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
All right, that's a lot.
Not you, Leo.
Thank you. I say, sipping my tea.
He called you an idiot, Sha'Nehl.
I'm surrounded by idiots,
Sticks
except
and
for
stones.
Leo, and Leo's still drinking his tea. Alright, okay.
I don't want to speak for Duchess, but Duchess imagines how she's going to kill Scrakk.
I go and get the book from Sha'Nehl.
No. You don't get to go out of my grasp just yet. This problem.
You just pick him up. No.
He's like moving forward and like his feet still.
Can I acrobatics to escape?
Sure. Make an acrobatics check, I guess.
No.
Goodness.
Listen here.
Yeah.
You cause problems for me by walking into my bar and having all of these government agents on you.
Weren't we being shot at because of you to begin with?
I don't know that.
That's
Every-
true.
Every
Is
single
that
investigation.
Still haven't figured out your connection. Cole.
Exactly. Every single investigation keeps on going, and then I'm still holding Scrakk up above, by the way.
We're like waving him around as you're being annoyed. Like,
you guys don't understand. This is what's going on.
They all keep going. Skip Bleach here, Holly at this, Kylantha Dark there, and my name never comes up, so I don't know what the heck's going on.
You seem very stressed right now. You're having issues in your personal life.
I mean, he had a rough night, I'm just gonna say.
Besides, you work for the mob, aren't you used to people tailing you?
That's true.
Criminal?
Isn't that like kind of part of the job description?
Is it?
And Luminus like, wait, what did I sign up for?
Yeah. Like, hold on, let me check
not
the
just
I
contract.
thought you were like the cool kind of monster.
Yeah.
Not the feds, though. Except when...
Well, and again, I should clarify, the feds, you are concerned with when the feds come for you.
Sure.
This is a weirder thing. This is the military.
Oh, yeah. I'd say
the military
the police.
is after
The police, yeah, but not the military. Not. We don't call it the Hexagon or the Pentagon. What is it? The Stronghold?
The Stronghold, yeah.
Not the Stronghold.
The Octagon.
So there's a couple of guys standing outside, so what?
That'll make everything we're gonna do here extra complicated.
What are we going to do
Maybe
here?
some people don't want to be involved with the military, Scrakk.
And that too.
Not like anyone died.
I hate to break it to you, but
that's
not involved whether you like it or not.
Oh, you want to know? I don't think we cleaned up the blood. Is there like a big old blood splatter?
Sure.
I don't think we cleaned that up.
I mean, there's still probably some blood from... Actually, wait, did the Onion come in and do it?
No, he didn't. Of course he didn't.
If I roll a 20, he did. Oh, I rolled a 14. It's next to 20, but it's not 20.
It's like, no. Do you see the new bloodstains next to the old bloodstains that also weren't cleaned up?
Honestly, I just kind of am used to seeing bloodstains here at this point.
Alright.
And since they aren't red, it's just all like weird, like, dark gray splotches. It kind of blends together more easily.
Alright.
It's true, yes. Sometimes I just think you're a poor painter.
So, last night, one of your military folks got killed by one of my family members.
Oh dear, that's a grave offense.
Oh,
Actually.
Well,
Yeah,
You're in a lot of trouble.
And how is that my fault?
because they're
Isn't your family smart enough not to shoot military police?
That's true. Shouldn't you, not shoot military police?
Also, wouldn't we all be in trouble now by association? Even you two?
Probably, but I assume I can get out of it. I have friends in high places.
Well, good for you.
Oh, I should try to do that for you.
Good for you.
Anyway.
Luminus, with your... finish your thought there.
No, go ahead.
Luminus, with your rather high passive perception, you hear that the front door to the bar has opened. And you hear some, muffled voices talking to Cynthia.
Can I open a crack and just
Sure,
say,
make a stealth roll.
Ooh, not so good at those. Let's, I don't think a double down's gonna help me there.
Oh, no.
5!
So basically, you open the door with a very loud creak. I'll say the positioning of it is you're super apparent, but the rest of the people are not seen. But sort of standing at the place is a very clean-cut elf, just wearing a suit, and he's carrying like a briefcase or kind of like a large. He's carrying like a valise, like a bag. And he's just saying, "Oh yes, I'm just a traveling salesman, ma'am. And I'm just an elf. I was just wondering if I could just get just a milk if I could."
Do I recognize him as one of the guys?
You do.
And I just close the door immediately,
He looks at you directly in the eye.
Yeah, and as soon as I just close the door.
Subtlety 0.
I'm stealth dad, just
They walked into here, did they?
And then I looked and I'm not good news. He's ordering something.
Good, he's patronizing the bar. He's not just loitering. That's good, right? For business.
All right.
I mean, if they're going to stop you, they might as well give you money.
Okay.
Sure, $12.95 is such a worthwhile exchange.
So here's the problem.
Have you seen our pockets?
I don't know what the hell is going on with the brass up there, but it's pretty clear that they're the types of people who would make someone disappear if they dug too deeply into some crazy conspiracies. Like, say, maybe if a high-ranking general just happened to enjoy the patronage of a ladybug of the night. So
is everyone saying this kind of quietly? I'm
yes, quietly.
Assuming.
I'm not shouting.
You've all gathered in her.
Scrakk is not talking quietly. Oh, you're one to talk about making people disappear. You work for the mob.
Actually, you got me there.
And unhand me, you fiend.
He's still in his head!
Alright, fine. Down with it.
He is not a thief.
Listen, I don't know what's going
He's
on any
an
more than you
orc.
do, but let's not pretend that you're the saint in this situation. I'm just trying to figure out what's at the bottom of
You kind of cut out there.
Yeah, you did.
what's at the bottom of all of this.
Yeah, but now we got other problems. Does Leona know how to deal with any of this? What was
I mean, that's certainly a great question. Well, does Leona know anything about how to deal with this kind of thing?
I mean, Leona has a lot of military background. Roll an intelligence with proficiency.
Alright, I can do that. Let's find my Leona die. There it is. Let's see, what is with proficiency? I believe it is. That is a 19.
Military intelligence, or like the military police, but especially military intelligence, is like they're not as good as like the pure intelligence services, but they're
kind of stupid.
They're fairly thorough. They're fairly like direct on it, so they're effective in their way, and they are unlikely to simply kind of like give up if they have a task, you know.
So one way is we could give them what they want. It's just we don't know what they want.
I think what they're looking for now is to know everything about us.
Well, then why don't we go out and have a little chat with him? I promise I won't break his fingers immediately.
Or we could just bore them by not doing anything.
Oh yeah, Leopold's real good at that.
Oh, maybe we should invite them in and have Leopold give them a lecture about something very interesting.
God, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, but yeah, that would be pretty effective, I bet. Well, this little rat man can do that pretty well, right?
I mean, I don't know what they'd want to talk to me about. They could have done that a day ago before I left the complex.
I don't know if they just sit there willingly, but yeah. So, how are we gonna deal with this?
Scrakk will start walking towards the door.
Whoa! I'm gonna stand in front of the door. Whoa! What are you planning to do?
I'd like to use a clue to try to get some insight on
how to satiate the military police.
There's a whole bunch of moving pieces here.
There are a lot of moving pieces.
There is at least one conspiracy way high up with Skip Leach here. I don't know how deep that runs into the military. Scrakk is being chased by this military intelligence, probably to make sure he doesn't leak any secrets from the military. Probably.
I was a bit late for that.
Well, yeah, we already figured that out independently of Scrakk through our other means. So, and what is it? We still have juggling the investigation of what is it? The Iron
Irene the Iron,
out there.
That stuff.
Yeah, Irene the Iron.
Yeah,
all
we're
that
still
stuff.
checking on her.
And then there's the ongoing, thing with that established guy, the inscription fellow, the Brickborn, and
We could definitely get
Il
information
Grazioso.
from him,
Right.
from
But
Irene, because
is there
Irene's
a-
the one that knows him.
There are.
Is there a
Yes.
back door? We should decide what we want to do and then just lose
So, yeah.
our tail.
So that's why I wanted to just peer into my,
As you
my
sort of
gumshoe,
just, you're
my
kind of do your
gumshoe
gumshoe
vision.
thing. As you kind of basically, you want to figure out
what is the
your-
biggest threat to me? I don't care about any of the other lot, but me.
Understood.
Oh, we're
if
well
you
aware.
want to know what the biggest threat is, I will say, if you spend one clue, that's more going to give you a suggestion. That's almost going to be like an augury or a divination. That's going to just be like what's the biggest thing now, and what's a good plan to fix it, or like what's going on. If you spend one clue, if you want to spend
spend
two
one clue to
clues,
do
you can,
that.
okay, you'll do that. So, the most immediate problem is certainly the military who are here. Obviously, things are risky with the family right now, but you definitely have the feeling that aside from that initial attack that happened, like, the trouble has come from you continuing to dig into things. And though you know that somebody was targeting you, they were being so subtle about it that the more opportunities you give people, the more times you put yourself in a situation where you might get killed, the easier it is you're making on these people who want to kill you very carefully.
Right.
So that's not an immediate concern. The immediate concern is the fact that the military police, or the military intelligence, has walked in here, presumably, probably kind of rattling the cages to see maybe if anything happened to their friend who hasn't shown up, who hasn't reconnoitered with them.
So, question. They know that the tail that disappeared was specifically following me.
They know there was a tail on you. Although you did leave after anyone else, so theoretically the tail could be on Luminus, as you were the people who were remaining here. Like, they know the tail who left on Sha'Nehl came back. The tail who left on Duchess came back. The tail who went with Leo and Scrakk came back. So they know that some tail was here last night, never showed up again, haven't seen him. You also suspect, but as a general thing, kind of another free thing you'll get. Scrakk came in asking questions that people have been very upset about people asking. You remember that Tachia was asking similar questions, and she basically, fled and was being holed up by those monks out there, thinking someone was going to come and kill her. You suspect that who she's afraid of is the military.
The military
is Elgrave. Is not. She said she's been working with Irene. You think that Tachia was afraid of the military, not the criminals.
All right. And lastly, and leastly, do they know this is a mob bar?
You think it is a reasonable assumption that by now they have figured out it is a mob bar.
It's not that.
So I can't just walk out there and say, "Hello, I'm proprietor of the Simple Orc Bar. We're just making business here." Simple man.
You definitely can, and they probably don't have hard evidence, but you suspect they would suspect. It's probably because they're racist. It's probably because they assume all orcs are in the mafia. In your case, it is accurate.
Damn.
But
accidental accuracy.
Yeah.
All right. Oh god, and I'm also half orc, half human, which is oh no.
Which is not,
it's a whole other thing.
A favored race.
All right, but you know what? I have to do my best to try to get this tail off of us somehow. So I think the best plan is probably to try to deceive with my deception.
That is probably
Right.
But I didn't even think of the last thing from your clue point. Scrakk came, asked these questions, the very same questions that Tachia was running away from scared. They let Scrakk go and they followed Scrakk back, meaning they are trying to find the people who's been conveying this information to Scrakk. They are looking to clamp down this information.
I see.
What they want is to not think people are still looking into this.
And they know Scrack's here. All right.
They know Scrack's here. They followed him back today. Yeah.
All right. So I'm. All right. All of you people tied with skip bleach, just stay back here. I'll go with Luminus outside because they have already seen you, Luminus.
Okay. So
haven't they seen us as well?
Scrakk grabs his book back from Sha'Nehl and
just keeps
in the
reading.
corner and reads.
So they would have seen you when you walked in, yes, Leo.
But they didn't see you now.
They haven't seen you now. So Dominic and Luminus, you open the door to find.
What's the plan, boss? Like,
Oh, yeah.
just before we all of a sudden go in
All
there
right.
and can't discuss anything, what's the plan here?
The cover story is. What is the cover story? We were here. I went back to my friends, to my family members' location in down the street somewhere.
Also, take into account that the guy up there's already talked to Cynthia, and so
Right.
Cynthia might have already told him basic information.
As they talk this over, can I listen and just point out logical errors in their conversation?
You're reading. You don't have the capacity to think of other things while you're reading.
He's
I
got
know
a
that.
bajillion IQ.
You
He
know
has the
that.
capacity.
His
Yeah.
logic
But he
errors.
only reads.
His logic errors aren't good, but he's just being fastidious. It makes sense. Okay, so your plan is to. Go ahead.
We're just going to do our best to just try to convince them that we're all just a simple bar here that was, and we were just out and about the neighborhood, and we do not know about any tales. Got it? Don't mention anything about tales or whatnot.
All right, and what would you have my specific job at this bar be? Obviously, I work for you, but I mean, we've never like they'll probably ask me what do I do here?
What do you do here?
I do what he tells me to. Hey, that's not a bad thing.
You're what is it? You're a bouncer.
I can do that. Even though I'm tall, but I'm not like big. By the way, I'm not a strong guy.
Don't worry.
But
Bouncers
do
only have
you
to be intimidating.
bounce? Can you bounce? Do you bounce?
Actually, I can roar.
There we go.
There you go. It's intimidating.
All right. So there we go. You're the bouncer of this bar. Just make troublemakers go away.
Gotcha.
So as
And you say the word, and I'll toss them out, just to keep up appearances.
Right. All right. And then we step out of the back room. I'm
wonderful.
adjusting my tie.
You sort of step out, and the eyes of this gentleman kind of like go to the two of you as you come out. He is sitting there with a glass of milk. You notice that
and I close the door real quickly behind me. Yeah.
like Nove is like sitting kind of like up behind the bar, like he's like on the other side of the bar on a little stool, like doing his homework or doing some whatever stuff. As it's like school hours, so this is what his mom makes him do, schoolwork. The man is wearing a suit. He has a briefcase, like sitting upright, like on the bar next to him. He's drinking a glass of milk and saying, "Let me tell you, ma'am, it's hard work being a Fowler brush salesman. I sell these Fowler brushes, and it is hard going from door to door and selling them, ma'am. Yes, absolutely."
Oh man,
Cynthia
that's
goes,
pretty rough.
"Oh, is it?" And Cynthia says, "Oh, do you have some? Just like, can I see some brushes? Do you have some to sell?" And he goes, not at the moment. I've sold all my samples already." She's like, "Oh, well, you're doing really well." Huh?
Yeah. Oh, we have a patron early in the morning. That's pretty rare. Huh.
Yeah, well, he just wanted milk, so I figured.
Sure. You've been traveling long, friend?
Yes. I've been traveling a while, selling Fowler brushes. And it's hard work.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine. That's really hard to sell like any art supplies, isn't it? Since, that thing that happened.
Well, they're cleaning brushes, sir.
Oh, those are Fowler brushes. I see. Huh. Okay.
Probably also just harder to see dirt though. That's the color.
Probably. Well,
It's-
you're not there, so I'm not responding to you.
No worries.
Whatever you're saying.
It's
So, I didn't say that because I'm pretty sure I know what a Fowler brush is in universe. I thought it was some sort of painting brush.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. It's a play on Fuller Brush, the Fuller Brush man.
I see.
I was like, is Fowler a company?
Yeah. In this world, Fowler is a company. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's been hard on the road.
I'm chewing on my boba. Sorry.
Bar you've got here.
Yeah.
I see a lot of bars on the road.
Did I have time to put up all my pictures of the other guy from Hollyberry?
You've told her to start on it, but she has not started putting them all up yet. But if you could have mentioned to her, go ahead and hang up a couple. So yeah, there could be a couple on the wall.
Yeah. I imagined that she was doing that. Then I told her the high priority, fetch over to the cleaners, and then See, we're a common site. We're popular enough with the people from Hollyberry. I look up and see how many pictures that Ambrosia put up.
Mm-hmm.
How many did she put up, by the way? 1 or 2?
2.
Okay. I don't remember any of the...
It's funny, though. Speaking of Ambrosia...
this is when she walks in.
Ambrosia walks in the front door. And Ambrosia...
oh my god.
Ambrosia sort of pauses for a second. And kind of looks at this guy. Says, "Hey, boss."
Hey, Ambrosia. How was the business?
She just stares at the guy.
Alright,
hold on. I'm gonna... Yeah, do go ahead, Dominic. You know what?
Go ahead.
Ambrosia rolls high enough and says, "Boss, I think I should speak with you about business in the back room."
Oh, alright then. I turn to the elf, and in my persuasionist or deceptionist performance or whatever, I'll say, "Please enjoy yourself at my establishment, and good luck on your sales."
Make a deception roll to basically make him think that you've bought his cover story.
I'm just an honest bartender.
I wish I could double you down right now, but I can only do it to myself.
17.
You see him, like, Luminus, with your passive insight, you see this guy go, like, "Absolutely." Yes.
Fucking idiot. I love it.
Okay.
They bought it, suckers.
Oh my god, the cover's really good. I'm almost convincing me that I'm a Fowler brush salesman. Wow.
And Mama said I shouldn't have been an actor.
So do you guys go into the back room with Ambrosia?
I go. Ambrosia's coming to the back room with me.
Luminus, do you go back as well, or do you stay out as a bouncer?
I'll just say, you want me to stay out here, boss?
Yeah, make sure our guest is comfortable.
All right then.
Let me tell you some of
Get you anything else?
Oh, no, I'm still enjoying my glass of milk. But I'll tell you some of my amazing stories from on the road selling Fowler.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, well, one time I had to fight a whole circus because they stole all my brushes, and as he really just overreaches, Dominic, Ambrosia comes back in the room, and she goes,
I'm sort of imagining him going over like military stories that he's kind of trying to wrench in a Fowler brush story.
Oh, that's much better.
We were there in the trenches.
So after my platoon of fellow Fowler brush salesmen, we came upon a mine. In the Fowler brush business, that's what you call a really hot part of the sidewalk you don't want to walk on. So anyway.
Oh, I gotta start using that more often.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Anyway. But then there was an enemy Fowler brush salesman, but he had a really good perch far away. He was
you can see all the potential clients.
We knew that he was up there, but so what we did is we made a fake person out of Fowler brushes, and after he shot that with a Fowler brush, that is,
with a pitch,
we threw We threw an orange at him. And when that blew, anyway, Dominic.
And this all happened in one district? Amazing.
Yeah, the district. Yes, that's the term we use. In any case, Dominic, as you go back in, Ambrosia kind of like has this look, and Ambrosia goes, "Hey, boss. As soon as I left yesterday, I was tailed."
She's the only one that realized. She's the only one.
That's so funny.
God damn it.
And boss, this guy was like it was really hard to lose him. Like
I tried the 3 right turns.
Yeah, I did like all these things. I mean, eventually I sort of lost him, but then I was like, I thought maybe you'd want to know who was trying to tail me, because I didn't think it was somebody it was an elf, but I didn't think it was from an elf family. So I kind of, I then started tailing him a little bit.
That your reverse Uno card.
Yeah. But then he saw me tailing him, and he started tailing me. So anyway, we went back and forth a bunch of times.
And then we kissed.
I lost him. Then I went over to look into Willie the Washer and Dreyfus, but by then it was 1 a.m. and neither of them were open. But anyway, I made sure I didn't have a tail, and I came home, and I came here this morning, but he's out there.
I see.
He's across the street, but now there's a customer in there who's real similar to his vibe.
I know. It's MI.
It's much information, but not too much.
It's military intelligence.
Oh, hey, it's an oxymoron, right? You heard that.
I take offense to that.
Hey,
based on what
I take
see,
offense at that.
Do you see the bozo outside there, you two?
No, you closed the door.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll just pat Ambrosia. You tried your best.
That's military investigation. It's not the same level as military intelligence at all.
Excuse me? You didn't know how your own bomb worked.
Boss.
At least that's what I heard.
I just wanted you to know that so we got these tails. I thought they were feds or something. So you might want to let your capo know.
He knows.
Oh, good job.
I'll elaborate further. I'll say, yeah, sure. All right, Ambrosia.
You want me to go back and do it now? I can try to slip out a back window, and I'll lose any tails. Now that I know that if I just do left turns, they won't. It'll really confuse them.
Sure.
I can go look for the Watcher, but I wanted to check in because you said I need to show initiative.
I appreciate that, Ambrosia. You did well.
Cool.
Pat her on the back. Say, gold star, and on your way.
Thanks. So Ambrosia just goes over to the back wall and just like leaps up and starts just climbing up a pipe and trying to fit through a little high window back there.
Does she fit?
Gold star.
Or left turns. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, she does.
Okay. That would have just been, after all the cool stuff just getting stuck in the window. It's like...
Yeah, exactly. She'll go. This, however, I will have her make a stealth roll at advantage because she's going out of way. They're not looking at. She rolls a nat 20. Unless they also roll a nat 20, they do not.
Fantastic.
It's
like I look away for 1 second and she's gone from my side. Oh,
yeah.
Well then. Okay. All right. Now then. Now what?
Now what indeed?
Yes, what do you want to do next?
You basically just Dominic's back here with Duchess, who's just glaring at these three. Also you left her alone here, and unbeknownst to anybody, as they were just all working back's turn, Duchess was just summoning a giant scythe, the Grim Reaper. Just.
And then I was like, "Are you sure you wouldn't like to hear about the theory of?"
No, I'm okay. Thank you though. No, I'm okay.
I mean, I can just give my.
Stands.
If you got a phone back here, I can just give my commander a call and see if he can get these goons off our tail.
I don't think that would be a great idea.
Alright. Well, first off, what did you lot do the previous night? Did we go over that? What you were studying?
Us lot, we went to the library.
Oh yeah, what did you find?
Well, we found a little bit about the Shadow World and about the parallel
Shadow
city to San Tomino there called the End in Umbral.
Okay.
But we aren't quite sure how much that might connect to our current predicament. We do know it was built around the same time as San Tomino's stately started as well.
Still not hearing my name in there, but okay.
Well,
we really need it to be spelled out for you, don't you?
I mean, it just keeps going deeper and deeper. Now we have some Shadowfell, real cosmic stuff now, and I'm just an orc from the old country here.
Well, we're all trying to find the connection, which would be faster if you weren't burning my research material.
Well, you can thank Sha'Nehl for being better than my throw.
Indeed.
You could have just not stolen the book in the first place.
I didn't steal the book.
No, him.
No, that's me. I
Okay.
know. What? That was the book that you got from the library? Oh. All right.
You need to respect the library books.
All right, fine. There's few people I want to mess with than librarians. Those old ladies they're real mean.
They are very mean.
Should we be discussing all this with the military police still outside?
Well, that's
The door is closed, I'm sure it's time.
Anyway. So,
speaking of whom,
are bugs
Luminus.
a thing yet? Like
what?
wiretaps or bugs?
Yeah.
Are they a thing yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's less. Their miniaturization is not as good, but it's certainly a thing. Meanwhile, Luminus, you're out there, and he's still regaling you. You know, all the women I meet are they all just throw themselves at me, but I always say, no, ma'am, I'm not. I'm not interested in that. I'm just here to sell you brushes. But they're all the lonely housewives. They're just completely in love with me.
My, how chivalrous of you.
Yes, I'm very chivalrous. That's true.
It's a fascinating work.
Cynthia is just has just for the past 3 minutes has stopped polishing, and she's just staring at everything, at him, and then she'll look at Luminus as he encourages this, and she's like, and even Nove has kind of stopped his homework.
Can I look at her and wink without turn away from him, looking at her and just kind of give her a wink?
Make a deception check, I guess.
I mean,
So that
given
he
the
doesn't see.
I
shape
understand.
of a dragon face, it's probably easier than...
It's not a huge thing. It's more just that you're not kind of teeing him that you're doing something weird.
Yeah, that's a 17.
17's good enough that he's enjoying his stories. So she kind of, but upon seeing that, that honestly doesn't help her. She's like so wait, in her mind she's like, so he fucking knows he doesn't. Wait, what?
Okay. All right. So, meanwhile,
I'll occasionally look into the door just to see if I can see the other two elves trying to look in through the door or the window.
No, they're across the street, and they're just both, they're just reading the posters on the newspaper or whatever, or inspecting a telephone pole for the 90th time. And they're not together either. They're kind of, although there's a third one out there now.
So, all right, I'll fetch
the
a
Ambrosia
phone.
one. That's right.
Yeah, I'll fetch a phone for Scrakk back here and say, you get these tails off of us. Call your supervisor or whatever. Talk to your manager. Tell him to knock it off.
All right. No, he's not the people aware. Okay, Scrakk will try and call up Commander Hilosuke.
Okay. So, you call Hilosuke. Helis Oak answers. Hello. This is Helis Oak.
Hi, it's Scrakk.
Scrakk, hi. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be?
I mean, sort of the way you showed up here wasn't. I don't know. It was, I mean, because we held you for a day and a half and sent you home on a train. I mean.
Yes, that was a little odd, I suppose.
You really shouldn't have snuck in like that. That was not good, Scrakk. I called in almost every favor I have left to try to, get some leniency for you here. Where are you, Scrakk?
Can I make an insight check on that?
Sure.
Not that I'm good at this, just a second. However, the dice favor me. That's unnatural 20.
Helis Oak definitely, like Helis Oak isn't just concerned. Helis Oak wants to know where you are, like for work, for business and personal reasons. You think Helis Oak is worried about you, but the way he's talking is, he's.
I mean, I'm where I was before.
Yeah. Right.
When I got that note from, who was it from?
Athea.
Tasha.
Athea.
Tasha burned.
Okay, yeah. From all right. Well, Scrakk, just please, don't dig anything up or don't, just let this stuff go, Scrakk.
It's my life's work.
Yeah, but it's
anyhow. That's not why I called.
Okay, why'd you
there's
call?
Some military police following me. Do you know anything about that?
Well, Scrakk, I mean, you broke into the stronghold, Scrakk. You're probably going to be under surveillance for a while. I would have figured you would have. I mean, I imagine you would have just seen them. They're wondering why you. I mean, Scrakk, you had a conversation with the vice admiral. With the vice admiral. You.
And I answered his questions.
Admirable vice admiral.
Yeah, but I mean, are you okay after you were in there with him?
Shit. I mean, he was a little creepy, but otherwise seemed fine.
Okay, well, just be careful. That's all I'm trying to say.
Can you get these police off my tail?
Oh my God, Scrakk! Make a persuasion roll.
Oh God, I'm bad at these two.
You better pass this one.
Dominic's like,
well, I have a -1 on persuasion, and I rolled a 9, so 8.
You're just standing behind him.
Scrakk, I mean, that's way above my pay grade. The reason you're not still here is because I called in a lot of favors.
I appreciate that.
Just keep your head down, keep your tail clean, and just don't stir anything up. It's a bad time for that right now.
I can't let this go. Not if there's a way to reverse it.
There's not, Scrakk. There's definitely not.
We'll see. I'll hang up. Not gonna. Can't do anything else.
I suppose I could call my contacts, but I'm not sure how trustworthy they are at this point, so.
There's a window out back based on ambrosia there. Why don't we just all crawl out the back and skedaddle?
Well, the thing is, how in a hurry are we to figure all these things out? Because we don't have to. We could just do nothing for a while and bore the tail off of us.
That'll be...
I mean, unless they're itching to get in a fight, that doesn't seem like. Could just confront them directly.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Hey, stop telling me. I know I broke into a secret military facility, but it was totally a joke, bro.
They're trying to be sneaky. If you take away their sneakiness, what are they gonna do? They could have already arrested me if they wanted to.
Trust me, I've been in the military. If they get made, then they're just gonna do something dumber.
Which is probably to our advantage.
Dumber for a military personnel is usually involving more violence. So.
We can't just hide in the back room for hours.
I mean, we can.
All right. I'll go back and sit in the corner and read.
I am totally fine just standing here.
Sha'Nehl can easily stand. Dominic, just to introduce a little anarchy, roll another D8 for me.
All right.
Oh.
All right. This is how many.
Roll an 8.
Oh God!
No,
oh,
not
God.
Gianna! Not Gianna!
God.
5. It's not Gianna.
Although you rolled 3 last time and 5 this time, so together.
We're not doing that. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the number of Giannas that walk in. There's 5 Giannas.
5 Giannas.
Oh, fuck.
In the last room.
Trouble. Yes, but actually, I think because we're short. Well, no, we'll go a bit longer here. We'll get to it.
So, long story short, since my only lead right now is waiting for Ambrosia, I'm willing to just go about my day doing non-crime stuff. As Scrakk said, I would say, you three, they know you're here. Go this back way to the back room, out of this back room into like some private area of the bar. Then you can walk out as if you were just requested a private room or something like that.
I can do that, yeah, sure.
Leo and I could walk out.
You want us to go in the back and then go back in the front?
Through a different way, because that guy out there knows you three should be in here, but he hasn't seen you yet.
Is there a way we can do that?
Yeah. Is there a way out of this back room through an alternate path? Through a different...
I'll say yes. I'll say there's a means of them entering out of some other door that could theoretically be like, okay, maybe they're not, whatever, sure. So you're basically going to send Leo, Scrakk, and Sha'Nehl out through another door so that it looks like they were just elsewhere in the bar.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
cool.
exactly
so,
the intent.
If you guys then step into the main room, you will hear this man is talking to Luminus now saying...
I would have asked his name just to see what fake name he gives me.
Shit.
Oh, God.
I'm going to actually roll to see how good a fake name he can come up with.
Roll a 1. Yeah! It's huge ass.
Tell me he gives me, like...
It's huge ass. His name is
my
huge
name
ass.
is... I'm Fowler.
Like the brush?
Oh my God, you own the company?
No. I'm.
It's your father's company.
Yes. Yep. It's my father's company. He founded the company. He founded the Fowler Brush Company. My father was very old. I'm an elf. That tracks. And he founded the company, and I have to go out and we had a falling out. On account of we fell in love with the same woman.
Oh man, that's
and my mother's dead, but they also got divorced. And I fell in love with a girl. My father wanted to take her. I don't even think he loved her. It was that my father was trying to. He just wanted to stick
reverse
it to me.
Oedipus. I get it.
Yeah, he wanted to steal my bride, and since he had all the money, he cut me out of the will. So I didn't have any money, and he stole her from me.
But you're still working for the company.
Just still sell his brushes. Good on you.
Yes, it was the only job I could. No, I mean it was it was a point of pride for me at that point. I needed to.
What is this, Crusader Kings?
I needed to.
This is a Crusader Kings playthrough.
To prove that I needed to prove that I could take him down from within his company. I could start in the mailroom, and And now that I've been a door-to-door, because you know what, Luminus, have you told him your name?
Yeah.
Then, because gosh darn it, Luminus, I'm the best darn Fowler brush salesman in the whole Fowler company.
What was your first name?
Bruce.
Bruno?
Bruce Fowler. Bruce
You know, a lot of makes sense. I'm rich guys named Bruce. I get it. You would have been a rich guy if you were still, with your father's company. I understand.
That was. Yes, it's been a very. Not everyone can do what I do. Darn it, I'm a a lot of people. When you see the light go out of a man's eyes, it changes you. I mean, when you see a surface get really cleaned, it can
You've had such a crazy life of, tossing oranges and, fighting platoons and, other salesmen, as you said it, right?
Indeed. Well, I guess he's sort of at this point, Sha'Nehl, Leo, and Scrakk are walking out. Well, I guess I'm out of milk, and as I still am on the clock, I have more Fowler brushes to sell here. And Cynthia says, I thought you said you're out of them. Yes, I have to go resupply at the Fowler Brush Depot. But I don't want to go in there because my father might be there with his wife, who's the woman I loved, till he stole her. He likes to rub that in my face.
Wow.
Do I personally recognize this particular military
intelligence buddy?
Yeah, you saw. Actually, no. They would have. The guy who came in is someone who they would not have thought you would have seen. So no.
Okay.
Upon here,
Sha'Nehl, are you asking if you recognize him? Roll a d100.
Roll a 69. Do it. Do it.
No worries.
21. You've never seen the guy, but he looks very military. Just a typical military elf.
He has the posture of a trained soldier.
Yep. Yes, well, anyway, I thank you so much for the milk. Here's my payment. It was thanks so much for letting me wet my whistle here in this establishment. He picks up his case.
Come back anytime.
No problem. You have a good day, sir.
Oh yes, maybe I'll become a regular here. Yes, maybe that's what maybe you haven't seen the last of B. Fowler. Yeah.
Yes. See you later, Bruce. Yes.
Right, Bruce. Bruce Fowler. You actually see as he walks out, he pulls out a notebook as if like preparing.
God, the worst agent ever.
That Bruce Fowler is my new favorite NPC.
I can't wait to know what his real name is.
Luminus, make an
Bruce
insight
Fowler.
check
His
on
real
him, by
name
the
is
way.
Bruce Fowler.
Okay. Ooh, that's wait. 24.
Seeing Scrakk, Leo, and Sha'Nehl enter seemed to be when he was like, okay, I'm gonna get out of here.
So that was the catalyst? Okay.
It was some degree of just whether, and it seemed to be a thing of like, he just confirmed something and wanted to stop pushing his luck. Kind of situation.
Understood.
Cynthia will kind of just look at you and say, Luminus, what was going on? That was really weird.
Well, he's a guy who's been tailing us, and I guess he came in for some information. And
Wait, I thought he was a Fowler brush salesman.
That's his story. Here's a very entertainingly bad story.
It was so convincing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Can I go check the bar where he was sitting for wires?
Sure. Make an investigation check.
As I'm explaining to Cynthia, so when he was saying platoon and orange. And when he was talking about, the districts, it was actually talking, what he was really talking about is this and that and some another. And
I can't believe
it was all just fake.
That's so shocking.
26.
26, you don't see any bugs or anything like that.
Just had to be sure.
Too bad he didn't actually have Fowler brush. I used to clean my studio with those all the time.
You bought some off of this fellow.
I couldn't buy any. He said he sold out.
Sold out
previously.
What kind of salesman worth his salt?
I asked if I could put an order in for later, and he said he was also out of forms. I said, you just want to write it down on a piece of paper, and he said, later. And then he just left.
Yeah, if he comes back, just be sure to keep an eye on him and anything he asks and whatnot.
I turn to Nove and say, if you don't do your homework and eat your vegetables, you'll end up just like that guy.
That guy was weird.
Yeah, exactly. So do your homework every day and study.
I think he was real weird. He reminds me of this kid I used to go to school with. We called him Weird Charlie.
He used to make up stories. Everybody meets a Charlie at some point.
And they called me Scary Scrakk.
He looks at you, just goes.
That tracks.
That's Scrack's.
Oh God.
Get out.
This is my bar. You get out.
Cynthia mixes another martini for Duchess, and puts in a couple olives. And Duchess goes, "Whoa, please, I'm working." And she takes the olives out and then drinks the whole thing.
I'll take a quick look out the window just to see if the others are still there.
One of them is.
But all the other ones have left?
Make another perception check. One is very obvious.
Oh, just like the obvious tale and more secretive others strategy.
This one is not as good. DC is 13.
With a 13, you look out and you just from what you can see kind of out the window without being too conspicuous, there's only now one standing where he was.
Okay, well, at least one of them's still out there.
All right.
They might have some others waiting to, send out people once we all start to leave.
All right then. So we'll just spend a few days chilling until Ambrosia brings back information about whatever.
So you don't want to go find Irene?
No, that's what Ambrosia is fetching.
Rather than going straight to that person, Ambrosia's going to try.
The cleaners is the link to Irene. Out of character.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll, in that case, I think we will call it a night for this, as you guys are basically going to lie low. And that actually makes a little sense.
Normal business.
We actually are going to be dark on this game next week, just because.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. It's
so
in character. In universe.
game, there'll kind of just be
we'll
like a
spend
little
a day with
slowdown.
normal operating
I
business.
think Sha'Nehl wants to go for long walks.
Sure,
On
just
the
kind of
beach.
just lead some people on some weird
All
things.
over
Yeah.
town.
Sure.
And then just stop at various places and just
start go hiking.
just stands there for hours without moving.
You
Really
walk
upsetting.
up to a just like go on like a weird walk, like sit, like you see someone on a bench, you go sit on the bench next to them. If they throw some trash away, you pick up their trash, and you then like you pick up their litter, and you like walk somewhere else and you look at it real carefully.
Right,
and
right,
then
yeah.
you're
like take really uncomfortable eye contact with them as you pick their litter up.
And then you take their litter and you like walk it elsewhere, and you like do a big thing and you let the tail follow you, and then you like burn their litter and stick it in a trash can, and then like wait there a second and then move so that the tail gets there after it's all burned up, and it's like God, yeah, really just screw with them. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so we'll see you back in 2 weeks. For this game, we will see you on Friday for Blood from a Stone, on Sunday for our Star Wars game Luminous Beings, and on Monday for our Star Wars game Crude Matter. Thank you everybody so much for watching. It's super appreciated. This is always such a fun game, and I also am very happy that we've met Bruce Fowler, he's going to be a big deal in this game, let me assure you.
I'm
Is
sure
he
he's
going
gonna
to
go
be
far.
the Vincent of this game?
Oh my god.
He's not the man
Right.
to collect, I'll tell you that. All right,
He's
well,
gonna
thank you all.
end up.
It's not a real campaign until a random NPC becomes the main character.
Well, I mean, KJ does have sisters, right? In this game.
Oh
as
no!
well?
Oh
Need to marry them.
It's true.
We need to follow the sisters, and then
Wow.
the sisters are gonna
Yeah,
gonna fall in
well,
love.
and we know this guy's single because his father stole his girlfriend.
It's true.
I mean, it sounds like he's got at least 2 buddies outside too. So you know.
no! Oh no!
Well, on that fascinating note, thank you all so much for watching. It's super appreciated. Go ahead and go to our About page if you want to see all the wonderful things our players in this channel do. Follow our social media, all that crazy stuff. We are at Long Lost Lore RPG on Instagram. I think that's one of our main ones, and at Long Lost Lore on TikTok. So thank you all so much, and until next time, we will close with our super slick sign off. Good night, and good noir.